I have Dae'l with me, and y'all, I love me some Dae'l. I am her fan. I'm her friend. She is an awesome mommypreneur, woman of God, super creator, gorgeous woman, beautiful soul. Like, I'm gonna let her tell you what she does, but because I could go all day, as y'all don't know, the behind the scenes was everything, but and I wasn't even recording, Lord. But Dae'l, please introduce yourself, and tell us what you do and what being a mommypreneur means to you.
Absolutely. So again, my name is Darrell Pasco, and Lanisha, thank you for even inviting me onto this segment. I really do appreciate it. I am the founder of the Womanhood Academy, where we are all about restoring the gentle woman, and what that looks like is just helping women to understand that their strength lies in their gentleness, and to see the beauty of being strong in gentleness and not fearing that they're going to be taken advantage of by returning to their gentle state. And I recently launched the Rich Girl Society, where we make her purpose make sense, and that's where I really focus on helping women and young girls make money, to really build that confidence to show up as themselves, so that they're able to impact their own lives and their communities and establish generational wealth really through the social media streets. And being a mommypreneur, to me, that's a heavy question.
Mm-hmm.
A heavy question. But I would say, of course, it starts with motherhood. And I actually started my entrepreneurship journey when I was a single mother. I was a single mother of one for, I believe, 11 years. And then I got married. But that journey really did start when I was a single mother. And mommypreneur looks like having many hats that I'm wearing. I'm learning to juggle life, learning to navigate life. Before we recorded, we gently got on trauma and navigating trauma and still helping people at the same time. And it looks like all that packed in one, like just learning how to juggle your life
Yes.
while you establish that generational wealth and remain an example for your child as you embark this entrepreneurship journey.
Cause baby, they always watching. They
Always.
watching. They listening, even though you done said it 50 million times, six different ways. They might not really hear you, but they be listening and they watching. And one thing for
Absolutely.
me is that I know that I'm not doing everything perfect, but I know I'm trying my best. And I'm hoping that I'm modeling for them that, yeah, mommy went through real life stuff, but she never gave up. She always
Yes.
trusted God. She might not have understood everything he was doing all the time, or even what she was doing all the time, but she didn't stop. She didn't quit. She didn't give up. She
Yeah.
kept going, and I want them to know, furthermore, that they the reason why they saved my life.
Right. Mm-mm-mm. Listen,
Cause I could
listen.
still be
I
out
am.
here doing some mess.
You really could, and it's easy to get into a lot of mess right now. And
Mm-hmm.
I think, honestly, even though I was a single mother, God definitely allowed me to have my daughter at a very intentional time, and a time that I was in a huge transition. And if it wasn't for me being a mother, I honestly would probably be in the streets just doing whatever. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Like, I
Listen,
don't even know if I would have given my life to Christ
we be tag
um,
teaming each other,
for
Dale.
another.
I'd be right beside you, right beside you. If it wasn't for them kids and God, ha ha,
Right,
these Tampa
right.
streets would know me, baby. They would know me. But God.
Yes, seriously, seriously. Oh my God, I thank you so much for everything. And that's one of the things I tell women all the time. Like, the things that society uses to disqualify us is always what God uses to qualify us.
Mm,
And I am qualified to help women and even men because of my story and the things that I faced and overcame, and I'm still going through. And
exactly.
just looking over my life, it's like, God, how could you use someone who was, addicted to porn, or, sexual perversion, or a single parent, or, just crazy stuff, growing up seeing abuse all the time. And it's like, why would I not use them? Like, there's so many other people that experience the same
Right.
thing, and
That's
because
literally
you
what he
experience that, you
does.
can help these people.
That's what he does. That's his track record. That's his if
Yeah.
we just check his resume, he didn't use nothing but drunks and liars and prostitutes. That's on Bible. So I
Yeah.
know, even though it still blew my mind when he decided to, use certain things that I've gone through to help other people, that still blows my mind. It makes
Mm-hmm.
sense. Yes, he could go get princes, dignitaries, and doctors, and all these educated, whatever. He could have been doing that. But based on who he is, he uses, I think, the least likely to do the greatest, to do the
Yeah.
miracles, just so you know it was him. Like, he's
Right.
gonna use, raggedy this, or broke this, or traumatized this person. He's gonna use all those things. He uses your past. He uses your story, your testimony, so that other people will know, yeah, that was me.
Exactly.
That was me. I did that. Because if you believe in I did it, mm-mm. You believe in the wrong thing.
Yeah.
It wasn't me.
There's no
It
way.
wasn't luck. It wasn't none of that at all.
Exactly. There's absolutely no way I would have even gotten myself to this place.
Mm-mm. I'm pretty good at going the other direction. I was
Right.
pretty good at sinning. I was pretty good at doing some other stuff. But once I really decided, okay, Lord, I'm gonna let you do it because I just keep messing it up.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna do what you say. Um, you get a shift. You just do,
You
and
do.
it ain't gonna make sense to somebody who used to know you.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not.
Exactly. Exactly. I was thinking about that earlier, how even when your story starts to unfold and you start telling your real story, how those that you may have hung around in the past may look at you side eye like, I didn't even know you went on through all of that, or like, is that really what your life was? And it's like, you didn't even know half of the stuff I was going through.
Right.
And I think it's beautiful because not that we were hiding anything, but we have to learn how to process stuff too before we start blurting stuff out and letting everybody know our testimony. But I think it's beautiful, just the grace of God and even His mercy, how He will allow you to be covered even in the midst of what you're experiencing, and at the right time, the opportune time that He's like, okay, now it's time to start talking about this. Right. And when you start talking about it, it reaches the right people, and everybody won't understand your story. They won't understand the impact. Some people may not believe you, even if they were there with you. Mm-hmm. But the beautiful part is your story is always needed to be heard, and those that need to hear it will hear it and take what you share with them and do what they need to do with their lives.
Because when I wrote my book, and I've shared with you before, like, I felt like, okay, I did it. Like, yay, like God was putting it on my heart to, write a book. I did it. Yay. But He was like, that's cute, you know, but that's not what I said. I said to write your story. But
Yeah.
people don't understand that it's hard. Like, there's some things that I just rather not say again, or write on paper, or even give another thought, just because it was too much.
Uh-huh.
And if you got a calling on your life to tell that, you got to deal with that first.
Uh-huh. Absolutely. Because it'll mess you up.
It will. It's re-triggering for me,
Yeah.
and so I have to deal with that and to heal from that. But in people, we know that if you're hurting, you're at risk to hurt somebody else. But
Yeah.
what you don't hear a lot enough about is when you're healing, you still have a risk of hurting somebody,
Uh-huh.
hurting yourself. You just do, because you're learning how to process something. You're learning how to, you know, feel that wound.
Yeah. And I think that's really important too, to um, give yourself grace in the midst of it, but then even give other people grace. I know we're in a time where we're all about cut people off, the cut off culture.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I'm not going to say that's not, because some people are just reckless and ruthless. But understanding intention and assignment in relationships really helps, and knowing who you need to stay connected to, who you don't need to be connected to, and the purpose of a relationship will allow you to really extend that grace and compassion to those who are going through a process of healing and may not always get it right. Because sometimes we cut people off too soon, or even just cutting them off in general. And God's like, I never wanted you to cut them off. Like, they were having a human moment, and I needed you to be there to help them process through it.
Because what if he cut us off?
Until they got through it. But a lot of times we'll just cut people off just because it makes us uncomfortable. And then sometimes it triggers stuff in us too that we haven't dealt with.
And what if God was like, you know what, I'm cutting you off? How about that? Since you cut people off, you have the authority to cut people off, write people off, and judge people. How about I just cut you off? Like,
exactly.
Sir, no. I'm just trying to listen and learn, because I do feel like some people don't deserve access to me anymore.
Absolutely.
And I base that off of, who the person is, not just necessarily what they've done to hurt me, because hurting is a part of life. Basically, to me, pain is a baseline. It's what are we going to do after that? Or what is my response to the pain that's going to really tell me everything I need to know about this whole entire situation. But before I completely remove somebody, just because I do recognize that, if it wasn't by the grace of God, that I would have been removed, or I would have been cut off, or I could have easily, it could be me in the other person's shoes. So I do feel like I show a lot of compassion. I probably will leave you attached to me longer than necessary for that reason. But just know that when I'm done, I am definitely done.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I don't know if that is the spiritual correct way to handle it, Dae'l. Honestly, I'm gonna be honest with you, but it feels good to my trauma.
Yeah. I understand that. It's crazy because yesterday I was thinking about a conversation I had with somebody when I first moved here to Tampa, and it was one of my mentors, and they were just saying, they were asking me why I was in a situation. I was in some situation back then. I can't remember what I was going through at the time, but I was in a situation, and they knew that I was a person who could cut people off with no remorse. Like, before I gave my life to Christ, if there was any type of sign, any issue, whatever, like, I would just cut it off, keep going, and feel absolutely nothing about it. So it was a little cutthroat. But then I got frustrated because when I gave my life to Christ, I felt like I gave people way too many chances. And just yesterday, God was talking to me about that very thing, and He brought that conversation back up. And this time in the conversation, He was showing me how He had been processing me over the years to learn grace and to learn how to commune with other people His way. But that this is a season, not where I'm necessarily cutting people off just to cut them off or anything like that, but this is a season where it is like a no-nonsense season. Like, if we're not going the same direction, if you're not speaking the same language, if you don't have goals, if you're not taking care of yourself, if you're not doing what's necessary to live the life that God's calling you to live, then there's really no need for us to be connected.
Come on.
I'm not talking about mentees or those that, clients and things of that nature, but close proximity, those that I call friends, associates, that I have close relationship with, like, really examining those things and going back to being bolder in how I allow people to get access to me. Because sometimes, like you said, it feels good to just cut people off because of trauma, and trauma's like, oh yeah, we're self-protecting, so we're good. But once you go through that process and you're learning, like, okay, I can't always do that. Even though it feels good, it may be the wrong thing, and God's not telling me to do that. So how do I process this? Have I given this person grace? Have I paid attention to everything? Have I sought God on the purpose of this relationship? If I need to be connected to them, or if He wants me to be disconnected. And this is a season, honestly, I'm like, God, I don't have fallouts with my friends. Like, I have a lot of friends from childhood. I probably had maybe 1 to 2 fallouts over the last 10, 11 years. and we're honest with each other, things of that nature. But I just have good relationships. But over these last couple of years, I'm like, God, you have me in a place where I have to examine everything, and it can be so uncomfortable because it's just like I'm not used to being that person who just turns people away now just because we're not going the same way.
I think there's only so many allowances you can give to someone to try to get them in alignment with you and where you're going. Yes, you help people. Yes, you mentor people. Yes, you counsel people, or you listen to people's stories, and you know, you try your best to help people, I believe. But sometimes people don't want help. They want attention. That's where I kind of just got to be like, okay, yeah, no, I can't do that. Because my attention that I'm giving you for something that you should be doing for yourself is taken away from my time that I need to be doing that for me.
Absolutely. Or somebody else.
Or somebody else. Like I'm never not gonna help people. I'm never not gonna support you. But being that I'm a counselor, so my family, my friends, they know they can call me. They know I'm a listen. They know, they know that about me. They know that I do that. So I have to really be like, okay, are you calling me to vent? Are you calling me for advice? Are you calling me for solutions? Like I have to quantify the conversation before I even really get into it, just to preserve myself. Am I in a space to hear your trauma or your situation? Am I dealing with my own? So I think that kind of precursor in the beginning saved me a lot of stress. Because now I know that, when you call me specifically, like I can track it, I can document it. When you call me, 9 times out of 10, you are calling it to vent. Okay, so now I can determine whether or not I want to accept your call. It is no shade, but please sometimes call me with positive news.
Yes.
Please sometimes call me to ask me how I'm doing.
Yeah.
Just
and
sometimes.
You know what I learned with that, honestly, Lanisha, is because some people have been anointed to listen. Like I have someone, it is aggravating sometimes. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Like it's aggravating sometimes being someone who has been anointed to listen and to sort through people's issues, because of course you're going to draw people who need to talk and vent and share. But what I've learned is I stopped looking for people who have shown me a track record of always reaching out for help. I've stopped looking for them to reach out to me to make sure I was good. And I think that's probably one of the best things I could have done for my mental space and just my mind. And I remember my husband talking to me, and he said something along the lines of like, I feel like you have your friendships and your assignments mixed up. And I was like, what do you mean? And he was telling me that there were friendships that I had that should be assignments, and assignments that I had that could have been great friendships. And I really had to sit in that thing and figure out why I was switching the two, because he was absolutely right. There were people I was calling friends that really weren't friends. We had bonded off of trauma. We bonded off of, them constantly calling me with their issues, them just calling me when they just needed something. But because I was always a friend to them, I automatically just put them in the category of a friend when they were really never a friend to me. But then I had those that were associates or those that I deemed as assignments, and we had great relationships. Things were mutual. We gave to one another. I could call them, they could call me. And I had to really sit in that and figure out why I was switching the two around. And what I realized was I was just so used to having people that always needed me that I made friends out of, and not really I never put them in their right places. And I began doing that, and my life has changed drastically. I don't answer the call every time they call me. I don't feel obligated to do that anymore. I realize I'm not the Holy Spirit. And there are times you're going to call me, I'm not going to be available because God needs you to tune into Him and figure out what He's trying to say to you.
Yeah, because people will have you thinking like Lanisha's on the main line. No, I'm not. I I'm on hold for him myself. Call him. Call him. Ma'am, we got the same problems. We didn't talk to the same. You want to speak to a manager? I do too. I'm waiting on to hear from him for real. Like, come on, y'all. It can't just be me. Like, I am a mess. But for real though, like you have to. I think at this point, cause like I'm almost 40. Yeah, like ugh. And I think at this point in my life, like I am so hyper focused on, because people are dying every day. I don't want to be one of them and not have did what I know I'm supposed to be doing, not take care of what I know I'm supposed to take care of. Like I wasted a lot of time not doing that, and I feel like I'm getting back everything that not even the devil stole from me. I stole it from myself. I robbed myself of a lot of future opportunities, a lot of great things that I could have already accomplished by this point. I'm going through that stage of my life to where like I don't have no time for anything that's not that.
Right.
Like period. Like I'm on my own tail. I'm on my own back. Like, girl, yeah, you doing this because 20 years ago you could have already been here, but you was playing around.
Right.
You could have already been here, you could have already did that, but you were so busy serving other folks and doing this and doing that and wilding. And now you're working twice as hard. Yeah, and you did that. So congratulations. So anything that's not furthering me, anybody that's not trying to give me knowledge or experience or check or support or network with me so that we can all build and win, I'm not. I don't got time.
This is a season where you have to be so intentional with your movement, so strategic. And I've been telling people a lot, like, God, this is a year to really hone in on the strategy for your life, like that blueprint that God has for your life, and just be hyper focused, like zone in on everything you need to be focusing on right now. And I've been telling people, like, hey, spend the first couple months of the year just going hard and building for the rest of the year. And I realize a lot of people don't have that mindset right now, which is perfectly fine, no problem. But I'm trying to stay connected to people that do. Like, really surrounding yourself with people who look like you spiritually and, in your work ethic, because it matters.
Yes, and there's so many women who are out here, black women who are out here absolutely killing it, being mom, wife, minister, boss, finance guru, gentle womanhood extraordinaire to the stars. We're gonna claim it. Like, I have no choice but to highlight those folks. Everyday society don't do it. They don't. They still sleeping on black women, and we're gonna let them get their rest.
Right.
But as for me, I know the plans that God has for me. I know the people He's put in my path. I know the way He's moving me now is so awesome, and I'm so grateful that I have no choice but to keep following Him, even when there are things that don't go my way or I don't understand. And I'm just like, before I can even get too upset or down, He put something else on my heart or on my mind, or He'll connect me to this person or align me to this opportunity, and it's like, okay, all right, you got it.
Absolutely. I was talking to someone last night about that very thing, and I'm actually helping them through their own deliverance process. And some people were telling her, like, to just sit down and stop moving, and until she figured everything out. And she had been doing that for like 2 years. like, you got to be consistent in serving the needs of other people and taking care of yourself, like taking care of yourself and learning what it looks like to serve as you build that momentum and don't lose that momentum. I think, of course, it's intentional to make sure you're not destroying the lives of other people as you heal, like we talked about earlier a little bit. But at the same time, you have to know how to roll with the punches. Eventually, you got to figure it out. Like, how many more years are you just going to sit at the sideline and hope you have all your pieces together? Because the truth of the matter is, as long as you're on this earth, you're constantly going to have something to heal from, to be delivered from.
Listen, it's already in the queue. While you in the present storm, the next one's queued up. It's on its way.
Literally. So you just gotta be.
Yep.
You gotta be intentional with your movements and know what you're graced for in a season. I'm not saying you have to go out here and start a multi-billion-dollar company right now, but at least start with a couple $100,000. Like know who you have to reach out to, know what your capacity is, put those boundaries in place, and get moving because you don't have time to waste.
At all. Thank you so much, Dae'l, for being on today. Girl, I love you so much. Like, you do not understand. Like, that first meeting told me everything I needed to know about you, from the way you was dressed to when you put out all them pens. I was like, yes, this is my girl right here. She put out the planner and the pens, and I was like, yeah, bestie. I'm going where she going. I don't know where she going, but I know I'm following her. Like, you're dope in real life. You are boss in real life. You're gorgeous every time I see you. Slay. Our daughters are named the same. Like, yes, you are so inspiring and encouraging to me. Like, everything about Dae'l, y'all, is just real. And she don't like try to sugarcoat stuff. She doesn't try to make it something that it's not. Like, she knows her business, and she tends to that. She is just amazing, and I'm so grateful to have you on. I know everything that you do, everything that God has called you to do, you're going to do well, and I'm here for it. I love and enjoy watching you be the woman of God that I know and see. Like, it's not just, oh yeah, she's doing that because of this, or she's showing this part, but not all of it. That's not Dae'l. She is so transparent, and she is like, she's a vessel for other women to be transparent and to be on their journey to being healed. And that's why I'm always support her. I'm always stick beside her. I have not seen or heard anything different from her since day one of meeting her, and that was, ooh,
that was a few years ago.
That was a few years ago. Yeah. Yeah. I had just had uh the baby a few months before, and that was like my first kind of like getting out, because I knew I needed to get out. I knew I needed to connect with women. I knew that I needed people who were going to be praying with me and for me. I knew I needed a village, a tribe of women that I can get with and pray and to be vulnerable with. I didn't have that. I kind of left that when I moved down here, and I prayed and I asked God, like, I'm gonna need some people, at least some people to connect me to the beauty shop. To show me where the beauty supply at. Like, I need people. I need women. And when you pray and God really hears you, He gonna send you the right women. He not gonna send you no low bar replacement. He sent me top notch village people, and that's what the Mommypreneur podcast is about. I am highlighting the dope women, the dope black women, the dope moms, the dope working women who the Lord has really intentionally placed in my life, and I honor them, and I celebrate, and I really, really appreciate what you are doing for you, for your children, for the community. 100%. I love you so much.
I love you too. Thank you so much, and I see you out there definitely killing it as well. I'm like, look at these pictures. I love seeing your pictures. I love seeing what you're doing with the community as well, especially in these campus streets. And I think it's
I'm trying. I'm trying, because honestly, I don't. What if we don't do it? Like, who gonna do it?
Right.
Who gonna do it? So we got to keep working. And I know that, you know, my reward is coming, whether it's on this side or the other. I know that God is having me do this for a reason. And I'm just, you know, I've never been let down by all the other times I said yes to him. So
Right.
I'ma just keep on.
Absolutely.
Keep on. All right, girl. Enjoy the rest of your week, and I'll talk to you soon.
Okay. Talk to you later. Thank you.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
All right, y'all. Get your mama on. Mom.